Welcome back, everybody. I think today's the day that I flipped that switch in my mind from seeing all this wood and all the wood around me as just firewood. We're doing the finishing steps and putting our bandsaw mill together on the other side of this field here. So now I can see some of this chunks of wood. It has a lot of potential to be turned into some beautiful lumber once I figure this out. So I'll flip you around and show you what we're working with this afternoon. The weather we've been having is nuts. So it's the week between Christmas and New Year's right now, and it's been raining all week. If it was about 10-15 degrees colder, we'd have a ton of snow. But thankfully we don't, and it isn't, and this is what we got to work with. My portable workbench worked out real good. But you saw in previous videos, we got this pad here. This was our temporary solution. For those of you who haven't followed along, we ordered a Woodland Mills HM130Max portable sawmill. It should be able to cut a 30-inch diameter log into live edge slabs or whatever smaller lumber we can get. And the track I got is about 22 feet long, so I should be able to cut a 17-foot beam without too much trouble. I did have these 4 timbers. They're 6x6x10s laying around, and I ended up putting some concrete blocks in the middle. Could not see myself buying any lumber for this or anything in the future. I got all the feet screwed down level, and yeah, now that I've got this slapped together, I realize that this really is portable and we could move it without too much trouble if we want to put it in a more permanent home, but this is good enough for now. So we've had the mill on the property for 3 or 4 weeks now, and I obviously wasn't in a big hurry to put it together, but I had some more time this week, so I was able to pick at it here and there. Wasn't trying to set any land speed records building it. Picked away at it here and there, like I said. So I think all in all we're 10 to 12 hours into the whole thing, and that includes a lot of family time and the kids running off with nuts and bolts and wrenches and things like that. I'll post some pictures. We had a great time. There are some heavier components that my son was able to help with, and my wife in the garage, getting those together, but this is certainly something you could do by yourself, especially if you have a leverage tools like a tractor, skid steer, something like that, to get this next step taken care of. And that's probably the most dangerous part, is getting that mill head up onto the track. I think we had 5 to 6 hours in building the base here. If you had a concrete pad or a real flat spot to start with, that would have gone a lot quicker probably. But I spent some time doing dirt work and getting this real level and square and firmed up, and then another 5 to 6 hours in the garage building the mill head. And the garage worked out real good because rain, and I can work in the dark, and it's flat and neat in there, and there are a lot of pieces you're going to want to keep track of, so garage worked out good. Alright, this is all we got for ballast right now, is some firewood rounds. They're green, so they're nice and heavy. We've got the Kubota L2501. Shouldn't struggle to lift this at all. Got the pallet forks up front, and the frame on this thing has lift points. You can use a chain, whatever you want. I've got this hoist strap that should do just fine. And yeah, I don't know how much this weighs, but I can move it around with my muscles, so tractor shouldn't struggle. Got a high garage door there, so I think I'm gonna be able to squeeze it through without breaking anything. little tractor's handling it just fine. I'll back up to give you a scale of things. Not a tall man by any means, but still a pretty big operation for me. This is where you'd ask for a second set of hands if you had one, but I'm home alone and I'm on my own. I have a pretty good point of view from the tractor seat. I think I'm going to be able to get the wheels of the mill head right on the track without too much trouble, but we'll see. Definitely see why they say that's easier with two people. So the mill head is just kind of slapped together. Nothing's tightened down too hard. That's why there's so much play in those wheels. I was able to maneuver onto the tracks without too much trouble because everything's so loose. So now I'll crack back open the instruction manual, keep you under the tent because it's still raining pretty good, and see what the next steps are. Alright, the first couple adjustments, I'm having to make adjustments. So first step is to swing her back and forth. These chickens, anytime dirt moves over on the farm, they find it immediately, whether it's up here near their house or down by the driveway. The chickens come running when there's fresh turned over dirt. But anyways, these log clamp bars, there's a little bit of play in the cutout holes for these, and these rollers were hitting this, so I pushed all of them that way, and now it rolls freely. Second thing to check is the blade. It says to lower it down to the bunk, tape measure one side to the other, and this one's off by about 1/8 of an inch from the factory. So I'm gonna adjust these, where are they? Yeah, one of these to lower, gonna lower that side. Good job. Alright, the next step after getting that blade level to the bunks was to go around and tighten these gaskets on all or both posts, but at the bottom and the top. And then that caused some little jumpiness when I was raising and lowering it. But the next step, coincidentally, was to add some water resistant lithium grease to these posts, and now everything's riding nice and smooth like you'd expect. Yeah, for those of you following along, I ordered this at the end of November during a shipping promo, so I got free shipping here, and it took about 7 days. And this thing's big and heavy, so there were a couple, I call them whoopsies. We got a scratch right here on the logo. Oh well, that's a piece of farm equipment. And then probably what I'd call like a paint defect. It's a little tough to see, but it's more obvious in person. Right here and right here. Kind of looks like they held a rattle can there too long, but yeah, that is what it is. But probably the worst of it is the gas tank. Looks like it got dragged behind a truck or something. So the corner right here on this weld has got a pretty gnarly gash in it. I don't think it's nearly deep enough to cause any leaks, but we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll live with it. It was fun to put together, but I don't want to do it again, so this is what we got. Alright, at the same time I ordered this, I went ahead and ordered their custom cover specifically made for the HM130Max. I suspect it's going to be pretty well fitting, and it got great reviews, so we'll slap this on there. I think I put it on backwards. Alright, I guess she's tucked in for the night anyways. That is kind of a pain getting that cover on there for me, but it's probably worth that little bit of extra protection we get, at least theoretically. We'll get her all dried out tomorrow, gassed up, fueled up, do some more checks, and hopefully get a log on there. So if you care to walk through my little learning journey here, please consider subscribing, liking this video. I appreciate it a lot. If I don't see you before then, have a happy new year, and take care.